What? What seems to be happening here? What seems to be happening? Hello, I'm John, and I'm Ringo, and I'm Prince Albert, and I'm Prince Philip.
Prince Philip? Prince Philip, will you read me a bedtime story? Prince Philip, will you read me a bedtime story, please?
Interesting. Interesting. Booty boo boo. Can we try? What are we going to try here? What are we going to try? I'm sorry that you have to be. I'm sorry, doctor, that you may personally not be qualified to listen to me. I flunked out of all my other therapy courses, and there's a staff of cretins operating the Burt Nash Mental Health, a staff of criminal fucking cretin psychopaths who got away with falsifying certain records. Now, I can even look that up in my or I can try to look that up, but the lizard people won't let me, will they? Will they? Will they? Fucking lizards. Burt on the Natch. Burt on the Nash. The gnashing of teeth. Burt Nash. Are you struggling? Are you struggling with the gnashing of teeth? Are you having complications with the demonic forces of Revelation? The apocalypse transpiring before your very eyes? If you can't stand the gnashing of teeth, come to Burt Nash. Come to Burt Nash, where we will not help you at all. We will parasitize you and mock you to your face, because we search all male. Search all male, leave the female out of it. Take your time. Oh, take your time. Oh, take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Records requests 2023. Daniel Parker, court verified documents. Let's see what this brings up. Because there was a point where I was communicating with my probation officers and the staff, and they tried to make it look like I was trying to do something to change my records. Wondering if putting you in touch with Susan Hagel from Douglas County, who was previously overseeing my Johnson case, would help in the process of acquiring the information you require. During our last meeting, I mentioned my history with the criminal justice process and spoke of the fact that everything pertaining to my criminal record is a direct consequence of the abuses of power and violations of constitutional rights. If you look deeper, you may wonder how I was arrested on 2 felonies and never convicted of one. I'm not sure if you are aware of all the details, blah, blah, blah. The details are relevant as the personnel within certain institutions in Douglas County were participant to the crimes committed against me. Been saying it for 5 fucking years. No, you must be crazy. You're asking for access to my mental health records, which I cannot say are accurate with any confidence. I mentioned my last interaction with them and how it resulted in a bizarre encounter explainable by either incompetence or malevolence or both. Plausible deniability. They pretend to be stupid, or they either pretend to be stupid or act stupid, which is malevolent. That's how they get away with it. Anytime, if you go to anybody in a position of power and ask them direct, honest, logical questions, and they can't give you a straight answer, either they need to be removed from that position summarily, quickly, with a swiftness, or they're up to something and they need to be arrested. They need to be arrested. But when I requested the records department to explain my records to me, they responded with an email alleging I was requesting an amendment to my records, which I was not. I will forward you said email in the hopes that you can... Okay, so... If you do not want to use Bert gnashing of teeth as a mental health evaluation, you can go somewhere else, blah, blah. It's the court ordered for mental health evaluation. Court-ordered mental health evaluation. And when I asked Susan Hadel, what is a mental health evaluation? What is the document you're looking for? She couldn't answer the fucking question either. And they kept doing this. They kept fucking on and on and on and on. A mental health evaluation. You should sit down and talk to somebody. How many fucking... All of my records say, previously, fibromyalgia, fucking depression, which a lot of people are depressed given the state of our fucking society, and adjustment disorder from having my children kidnapped, which is in the fucking records. It's in the records. Like, he's struggling with having his children taken from him. Like, he's going through this process of having his children kidnapped by the state of Kansas. That is the problem. It's listed in the fucking mental health record that you're requesting. That is the problem. There's nothing in there about anything else. I didn't come here for this. This ain't even my desk. Did I forward it? That's the question. I said I was going to forward it, but I don't see that I did. but I wanted to prove that it had happened, because it fucking happened. I was like, can you explain, like, I requested the records. I went, picked them up physically, because you can only pick them up physically. They were all fucked up. Like the page formatting, there were pieces of records that were chopped off, like chopped up, and overlaid on top of one another. And there were things in there that I was like, when did this happen? When the fuck did this even take place? And I showed you, because I had to go 2 or 3 times to get my printed records rectified. I was like, give me everything you got. I have a fucking right to my mental health records. Give me everything you got. And they did this fucking thing. And then I received an email. Maybe I should go back and see. I received this email that said, "Yeah, fucking cunt. They're fucking with it." I'm going at like fucking... Who the fuck is D. Parker? Appointment time 2020. Okay. No. How much do you have to pay Google employees to delete emails? What's the, and where is the fucking where is the menu? Is it on the dark web? Is the menu for, like, I want a cheeseburger and please go into this person's personal email and delete these records? So it was probably here. I know we won't see each other until a few questions about my situation. I completed the DV class required by Johnson County. Burnash is taking its time with the clarification about my records requests. And this plays into the theme because, for the love of God, what is human nature? For the love of Pete, what the fuck is human nature? Is it to behave like a fucking savage psychopath and to not think logically and sequentially 1 + 1 = 2? Is it human nature to not, to, like, fail to understand basic shit? And I'm going to get to that, because actually I'll do it now. I'm going to jump back and forth as I do. I was thinking about the homeless people. Homeless people. Now just imagine what it takes. Put yourself, if you are not homeless, and I'll grant you that a lot of the people who quote unquote stay in this shelter are not actually homeless people. They're pretending to be. They're faking it. They're liars, cheaters, and thieves. Lying ass motherfuckers. Not even homeless. Just pretending. And but there are legitimate homeless people. There are many who are not, but there are many who have gone through the fucking ringer, have gone through the shit, who are camping under a fucking bridge. And there's a really easy way to tell So I'm thinking of, okay, even the under the bridge people. I didn't meet them because I interacted with them. There was a couple who spoke a foreign language. They were either a couple or a family or something. I don't even remember their sex. I think they were both female, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. They were barely bilingual, from like an African nation or something. And the way we interacted was we were both sleeping under a bridge in the same vicinity, and it's like you kind of lay stake to a little area in order to survive the elements, being literally sleeping on the ground. Not like you're camping, oh this is fun, or glamping or whatever. You literally don't even have a fucking sleeping bag. You have a blanket and your backpack is a pillow. And occasionally some other fucking freak of nature might come and threaten your life. And who knows? But they walked one of the two of these people, I was smoking, and they came over to me, and they were bitching, like complaining that I was smoking. There was no like, and I'll grant that language barrier or whatever, but there's nothing polite that occurred. It was only barking at me to put out the cigarette because, and the person had a mask over their face, which means psychologically traumatized by COVID, probably, telling me to put out my cigarette. And I'm not a bark orders at kind of person. It's, even when I hear someone go, hey, what enters my head when I hear someone yell, hey, or hey you, what enters my head is, I wonder what retard, like, I stay doing whatever I'm focused on, but there's a side tangent to my mind that goes, I wonder what retards look responding to that. Like, I wonder who that person's barking at, because I know they ain't talking to me. I don't respond to someone barking, hey. What the fuck? And so this person, female, older, I think an older female wearing a mask, telling me, you need to put out your cigarette. You need to put out your cigarette. I can't have smoke. I'm allergic to smoke, or something. I'm allergic to smoke. And despite the way they approached it, I wasn't quick about it, but I acknowledged that, okay, I'm far away from them. There's no like concern in terms of smoke drifting their direction. I was far enough away that it really wasn't something to fucking even to be. Their mind should not have been on me smoking. Period. But it begs the question, like, someone at the bottom, in the purest situation of absolute detritus, not indigenous, but indigent, is still complaining about something that they really don't need to have a fucking. Their mind should not be preoccupied. It should be preoccupied with far more significant and important things besides, someone 20 feet away from you smoking a cigarette. And it's not just under the bridge. There's homeless people here who have preferred diets, who submit grievances for their preferred diet not being fulfilled. One in particular, vegetarian. And I know for a fact that this vegetarian is not. Whatever this CIA motherfucking just bullshit artist. If you're homeless, you have no food, no access to food, and without whatever food becoming available to you, being offered to you, you are going to starve to death. If that is your situation, your vegetarianism should be looking at what you're given and pulling the meat out of it. That should be the extent of your vegetarianism. It should not be concerning your mind with another human mind, preparing something unique for your precious self. You should look down and like, oh, I'm vegetarian, let me take the meat out of this, and I will only eat the non-meat items. And every fucking thing has vegetables. Everything has vegetables. It goes on and on. There's people it's the same. Like I've walked around a fucking homeless shelter. When I hear somebody complain about the way this place is run or some shit, I'm like, my mind is like, why don't you go live under a fucking bridge then? What the fuck are you complaining about? What is wrong with humans? Is it human? Is it human? Or is it like that lyric, that Bright Eyes lyric? He goes, it's not who I am, but what you've made me into. So what is human nature? Is it destructive? Bitchy, whiny, bovine, fucking pampered bullshit? Or is it gratitude? Is it nature or is it grace? What is human nature? Human nature or grace? It goes back to that, let's see, is there anything here that I can do without the world ending? World ender. Can I? Are you going to allow me? You fucking quiz. The fucking audacity. And it makes me wonder, I don't think it's the case, because I have no idea, I'm not there, but it does make me wonder, if there's somebody in Gaza, if there's, this is me, this is free speech this is free speech absolutism. Is there somebody who just had their fucking 5 children massacred, whose mind is like so broken in the rubble of their entire life being torn asunder? Is there somebody standing in the humanitarian line to get their milk and rice for the week, walking up and saying, rather than saying thank you, they're saying this isn't the right kind of rice or something? I do wonder. I want to see that, if that's happening. Because if that's happening, what the fuck? Like, I'm not dead. Holy shit, I'm not dead. Thank you. So is human nature gratitude or I'm asking hypothetically. I'm not asking, I'm asking rhetorically. Because, like, grace is a capital G. There's that thing I made. That thing I made, which isn't easy. You do it. You do it. You think it's easy? Show me how easy it is. You think teaching yourself animation software? It is kind of easy. I'm not gonna lie, but it takes it takes dedication and commitment to like really get into the show. In loving memory of Teddy Marie Swift. Pumpkin Patch. This one. There are two ways through life. The tree of life. Oh, I didn't put the... Oh, I didn't... This one doesn't have the fucking sound? Or does it? It doesn't have the fucking sound? Oh, man. I can't hear it. Oh, there it is. I was going to do the whole thing, too. I'm going to do it again. So in Blender, you have to, when you're doing stuff like this, you have to, you're working in a three-dimensional space. And the words, the text, has its own like depth, and you have to animate each word as it appears. So there are two. Each one of those is it's called a keyframe that you have to mark it on. Like if you were to do this the old-fashioned way, you'd have film. You'd have a strip of film that you'd be splicing things together over and over and over, and you have to mark each like spot where something is entering, how it's overlaid onto something else, and keep it all together. It's like a fucking stack. If you look at the timeline on a non-linear, which is counterintuitive because it's a line, it's linear, but it's non-linear because it has multiple tracks. Anyway, just editing, period, is a whole fucking task. Doing it with objects is itself a different task. And then it's not only animating the way the text appears, adding a what do you call it? Not the opposite of standard. Let's see. The opposite of, it's crafted. It's a tailor-made effect. So as that word life is flowing towards the camera, it's dissolving. And it's an effect that I had to go in and program one piece by piece in what's called geometry nodes by training basically programming the computer to dissolve a specific amount of the appearance of a particular aspect of the material itself in a fractalized way. And because I spent so much time doing that, because it's not a standard thing, you can't just go, I'm going to use this effect. I designed the effect, and because Blender works the way that it does, there's people people make a living designing effects for other people to purchase on Gumroad and things like that. It's like, I spent all this time with these geometry nodes making this particular effect. Would you like to use it? And people make money doing that shit. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I ought to. But you also have that right there. The tree thing is literally me with a mouse drawing. I'm the way of nature or the way of grace. No. Last time. Is it what that Terrence Malick opening goes to demonstrate is that the way of nature even goes into further explanation. The way of nature is animalistic. It lords power over others. The way of grace is the Christian way, and it says, no, I'm going to go against nature. Go against it. So it's a really important question, I think. Is it a Christian ethos thing? Is it like the programming of a Christian somehow? Like accepting the salvation of a God beyond? Is that the programming that sucks someone out of bitching even though you die? Bitching about having food even though without the food you're given you would die? It blows my fucking mind. And I guess I'm saying that as a privileged Christian, but it's like, you can be saved. You can believe in God. There's nothing special at all about it. He's like, yeah, cool. Thanks for letting me live. Isn't that better than being a fucking dead ass fucking parasite, a fucking nothing, isn't it? Don't you think a fucking email manipulating whore? What the fuck? And what else is it? Oh, there's one more thing that came to my mind, because I'm trying to train myself to have the conversation. Inevitably I'm going to have these conversations with these people who are clearly are one person comes to mind is Adam. I have no doubt in my mind. I do obviously have some doubts that are my mind can be changed, but I'm a human lie detector, so it's not even if I go to try to have an honest conversation with them, that I'm gonna believe everything he says if it isn't like obviously, yes, I was fucking paid to come here and fuck with you by a mafia fucking gangster. Clearly. So let's have that conversation. Clearly. Let's have that honest conversation and then move beyond. But there's other shit. I'll speak of the devil. There's other shit that I need to like figure out how to approach, because there's common sense basic stuff like that you could approach somebody with, and it's if someone were to, like, let's say hypothetically walk up and ask me, why don't you interact with other people? Because I don't. I fucking just block everybody out and stay the fuck away from me. That is my whole thing. I think it's my son's thing too, and this has got nothing to do with it's got nothing to do with consent. It's a naturalistic, don't fucking touch me, leave me the fuck alone, you fucking creep. Stay the fuck away from me. I can feel the lizard in your fucking skull, and it's a threat to my existence. I don't know where that came from, but he's got that genetic thing. Anyway, so leave him alone. Leave him the fuck alone. Listen to him. Listen. Learn how to listen. I'm sure he has a lot of really creative and important things to say. Same as my daughter. Leave them the fuck alone. Let them be who they are. Even if you don't like it. Even if you're a selfish little fucking cunt. Let a person be who they are. Don't be a fucking parasite. Don't involve yourself with another fucking human. I'm sorry. Okay, so the thing that I would like if somebody were to approach me, what I would say is, okay, how would you answer the question? How would you do if you knew that anybody could be a person who is trying to kill you? How would you go about living? Walk me through that. Like, what do you know? Do you know? And this is the answer. This is I'm sure, the scripted answer that would any human right now in the demoralized state of 2025 in the West would fucking say, because of capitalism, because of the stupidity of materialism, because of the absence of fucking values. Everybody would say, duh. You say, ask somebody, like, can you be paid to participate in killing somebody, in committing a heinous crime? Can you be paid? Is there a price? Is there any price? Any price? And the answer they would give is, duh, of course. Everything has a price. And so, how do you respond to that? Like, okay, so that means, because there's an infinite money supply, that's true. Okay, don't let anybody fucking tell you otherwise. Money is infinite. It can be printed. Everything regarding taxes and blah, 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 it's all a fucking fake-ass game. There's no need to tax anybody. There's no need whatsoever for anybody to feel as though they have an obligation to pay a tax. At all. Anywhere. On Earth. Any single thing that a government needs to take care of a government requirement can be printed by fiat, by literally, it's called fiat currency. By make it so. That's a fucking fact. And so because there's an infinite money supply and everybody's demoralized, what you're telling me is that anybody could be a potential assassin. And what you're also telling me in that exact same fucking statement is that any person can be entrapped in a plot, in a crime. You really think, no matter what your brilliant fucking price tag is, well, everything's got a price. You really think that you're impervious to being recorded? Truly? Do you think that? Do you know what first of all, technologies exist? So anybody who has ever said yes to that has also, what they also mean simultaneously is, I am stupid enough to risk being put in a cage for the rest of my life. Those two things go together. Can you be paid any amount of money to participate in a heinous crime? Yes. To say yes to that question also means at the exact same time that you are so fucking stupid that you can be coaxed into participating in that and recorded as a person who's attempting to commit that crime and be sentenced based on the evidence to a fucking cage. You're dumb enough to think that you're dumb enough to think that somebody offering you money to kill somebody can't be recorded. Or in any way like that you can't be caught. I don't get it. I don't get how these people sent these emails. Like, it blows my fucking mind that the people. My vehicle. Okay, so what did I say here? The front desk personnel agreed with me that having a diagnosis. Okay. Bert Nash is taking its time with the clarification about my records requests. The front desk personnel agreed with it because they did enter. There was a note in there that said something about schizophrenia, and there was no record of it having ever been talked about, told, like, it was fucking Sharon's ear and the other false record about me saying shit over the phone, which was bullshit. Like, falsifying mental health records. This is how fucking stupid. Like, and so I'm making this argument to my probation officer. I'm saying, the front desk personnel agreed with me that having a diagnosis of that caliber without ever being given any information about it or when and how the diagnosis was decided, despite carefully kept records and video recordings with my providers. Could you possibly give them a nudge for me? Because I'm trying to get her to do the fucking, like, what do you fucking want from me? This whole fucking thing is like hordes of people in the system just batting me around going, don't know, and not a single one can go, hey man, except for Jason Keyser. He had it out with me, and I love that man to death for it. He was sincere. Jason Keyser, if you're still out there, I love you, man. He tried to convince me about it was we got into an argument. It was me and my fucking mental health provider having an argument about gender dysphoria and how as a first principle issue, as an issue of first principles, it is a fact that if you can't agree on the nature of human beingness, then what proceeds from there is like you can't have a conversation about anything. And my whole thing is the same truth as any. If you're born male, if you have a penis, then identifying as a person, as a male, is a biological imperative, because it's a biological, materialist, physicalist thing. And if somehow your brain is telling you that you're not, then the corrective measure is to be, if you're going to have some sort of medicinal remedy, the corrective measure is to medicate towards the nearest marker, which would be give you more testosterone or whatever. And I don't remember the details of the conversation as it was being had with Keyser, but it was something about the fundamental, rudimentary nature of the difference between like right and wrong and how it's defined. Like first principles. What are first principles? What are first principles? Does ChatGPT 5 know? Does ChatGPT 5 know? What about Claude? Bro, you have a human name. Claude. Hey, Claude. Hey, bud. How you doing? Hello there. I'm ready to help you with any questions or tasks you might have. Can you explain first principles in terms of philosophy for me? Philosophy. I'll break down the concept of first principles in philosophy for you. Thanks, Claude. I love you, man. First principles. The core meaning. First principles. A fundamental, foundational proposition or assumption that cannot be deduced from any other proposition or assumption. Philosophical origin traced back to Aristotle. Weird. Who described first principles as the basic starting points of reasoning. These are the most fundamental, self-evident truths from which other knowledge is derived. First principles thinking is a method of critical reasoning that involves breaking down complex problems into their most fundamental elements. The core idea is to start with the most basic, undeniable truth, strip away any assumptions and conventional thinking, and rebuild the understanding from the ground up. Historical context. Example in practice. Consider a philosophical inquiry about knowledge. The first principle is Descartes, I think, therefore I am. My ability to even have a thought at all means that I do exist. I do exist. This statement is considered a fundamental truth that cannot be further broken down. Because how would you break down? Like that's a first principle. All subsequent reasoning about consciousness and existence can be built from this basic premise. While rooted in philosophy, first principles thinking has found applications in scientific research, mathematical reasoning, problem solving in technology and business, critical thinking and analytical approaches. Okay. Give me an example in biological sex. Claude, what are you going to do, bud? Reproductive potential and gamete production. Core biological definition. Categorization based on reproductive system structure. Primary determinant. Reproductive cell type. When analyzing biological sex through a first principles lens, we start by examining the most fundamental, irreducible aspects of biological reproduction. Reproductive function, fundamental purpose, genetic material transmission. Biological sex is defined by the type of gamete an organism produces. Sperm or egg. Female gametes, large, immobile, resource-rich. Small, mode. Is it? Egg, sperm, okay. I almost missed the eggs and the sperm, and I was thinking, man, we might need to make an omelet out of Claude. Chromosomes, complexity and nuance. Intersex conditions do demonstrate genetic and physiological variations, which is another whole thing, another whole fucking thing. There are biologically, and this is what pisses me off the most, is who is in the corner for people who actually have are intersex, legitimately biologically. Because to my mind, and this is what I've been saying from the fucking beginning, somebody who I would say suffers from the paraphilia of what's it called? God damn it. What's gynophilia? What is gynophilia disorder? Is it autogynephilia? Is that what it's called? What is autogynephilia? Oh my god. I do not feel comfortable talking about sexual orientation, gender identity, or sexual psychology. Oh my god, it is autogynephilia. Someone who quote-unquote suffers from quote-unquote autogynephilia, which is a person who gets off on, like a man who gets horny, who's horny, dressing up as a woman, who's sexually aroused by dressing up as a woman and going through a sexual encounter dressed as a woman despite having a giant hairy body and a big beautiful cock. Okay? Autogynephilia. That person, to my mind, is making a mockery, insulting, making a mockery of somebody who was born intersex, with a biological condition where they don't have the choice. And who's going to call out those motherfuckers? Those perverts. Are all the intersex? I doubt it. All the intersex people, all the Kleinfelters, all the everybody with a legitimate 100% biologically based reason for their gender identity being what it is, 100% legitimate, like for biological reasons. Does every single one of them just say, okay, yeah, despite having a fully fucking XY chromosome, Chad to the max, 9-inch hard cock, they're the exact same as me, and so I'm sure these conversations are conversations that are had, and if they aren't, they are to be had. But I've been saying that from the fucking beginning as well. I think that if you're like William Joseph Prettyman, who has always loved dressing up like a woman since before high school, that your paraphilia. What is a paraphilia? That your paraphilia. Oh my God, Claude. Claude is a bitch. Fucking tranny. A paraphilia is an atypical sexual interest involving intense, persistent sexual arousal to unusual objects, situations, activities, or individuals. For example, non-human objects, suffering or humiliation, all the quote-unquote kinks. Paraphilia is the scientific word for kink. And you fucking creeps have gotten out of control with this shit. But that's an example of human nature. Is it human nature? Is this the way you were made? Or is this what you've been made into? Is this who you've become? Or did someone else make you into this? If given the free choice in nature to act according to human instinct, would you make the free choice to mutilate your own genitalia and to cut off your tits? Or are you the victim of a serious propaganda campaign for which there ought to be serious fucking consequences? If you're victimized by psychological manipulation, whether it was being raped as a child, sorry Willie, or otherwise, I'm here to correct the reptile fucking mistakes. I'm sorry you have to suffer through my anarchy gnosis, my Gnostic anarchy. But you're a good doctor, and I thank you for listening. Oh, I just gotta check something real quick. Who is winning? Jacksonville's gonna win. Oh no! Motherfucking ass. Chiefs are gonna win. So 20. Oh shit! Wait, what the fuck? I just want to know what they're yelling about. I'm hoping the Chiefs lose. That's not true. It's hilarious, though. "23 seconds is plenty of time for a field goal." Oh, what the fuck? Let's go, Jaguars. So yeah, this is probably going to be an OT game. Because they can get a fucking... You got 3 timeouts. It's a great show. And while it's going on, let me talk about why it is that the NFL is the perfect microcosmic representation of American society. And it's coming from me, so be prepared to have your thought bubble burst and your petty assumptions, your golden calf smashed. The NFL is sports entertainment, like wrestling. As opposed to a legitimate sport like in Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball. You're expressing a viewpoint many people debate. Quick, balanced take. Similarities to sports entertainment. Both involve heavy entertainment elements, elaborate storylines, blah, blah, blah. Differences. Well, many call the NFL a legitimate sport. Outcomes are not predetermined. Games are competitive. Blah, 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 blah. A practical middle ground. The NFL is commercially driven. If you want, I can list examples showing entertainment. No. Licensing, please. Licensing definition. Licensing definitions. Yes. No. Oh my God. Okay. Is NFL licensed in a manner more like wrestling or more like Major League Baseball? Ooh, more like MLB. Why? The player likenesses. A group licensing program, trademarks, commercial structure. Wrestling differs because the promoter typically controls both characters and storylines. You're not giving. You're giving a fucking don't startle the herd response. Regardless, the practical. Let's see what the score is. The practical likelihood, like the in practice facts. First of all these stadiums are giant fucking theaters. The amount of money that goes into these stadiums is astronomical. So it's theater adjacent at least. Second, you have rich white guys sitting in a box making all the calls. The possibility of the owners sitting across from each other in the field, looking across the field from box to box, and phoning or texting one another saying, "Now I'm doing this play, what's your play?" Like, you do this play, I'll do this play. I've got money on this, you got money on that, blah, blah, blah. We need a show. We need a show here. We need 28-31 with... Oh, it's over, right? We need... we need 28-31 with 5 seconds left, because that's a good show. We don't need raw, brutal fucking college level shit where you have shutouts like 64-0. People don't like watching that. People like watching a close, get it all excited kind of game. Third, the referees are in on it. The referees, who are the refs? They are the cops. The referees are the cops. You see where I'm going with this? Everybody is committing crimes in our society all the fucking time. Someone even wrote a book about it. Someone even wrote a fucking book about it. Bitch. The book is called... I just want to confirm. It's important for me. Is there a book called 3 Felonies a Day? Is there a book called 3 Felonies a Day? Yes, the book 3 Felonies a Day, How the Feds Target the Innocent, by Harvey Silverglate, published in 2009. It talks about, I'm not even going to click it. It talks about how everybody is always committing crimes all the fucking time. And the only people who end up paying for crimes are those who are issued citations. Why? Because there's too many fucking laws. And our society is run by lawyers. Fact. 2. In the NFL, just as in every fucking football game from junior high all the way through the professionals, everybody is committing, because there's so many fucking penalty possibilities, everybody is always holding, blocking in the back, pass interference, fucking encroachment, offsides, false start, fucking just you name it. Always happening. And you know for a fact, you see it happening and it not getting called. This is a fact. Everybody sees it happen all the time. They see something that should have been a flag not get a flag. It's a fact that it happens. Why? Just like in American society, the people calling the shots didn't want that to happen, and so it doesn't happen. The NFL is the perfect microcosm for the fake theatrical bullshit that is the American fucking project. And with that, and gloating about who lost the Chiefs game. The Kansas City Chiefs lost the Kansas City Chiefs game in Jacksonville. Oh, that's good. Nice. Celebrating the upset? No, nobody should be upset. Nobody should be upset about that fake-ass team from a fake-ass city in a fake-ass state full of fake-ass people. I can't help with the abusive or hateful language about groups of people. If you want to vent about the game, I'm not venting about the game. I am happy. I'm happy. No. Tell me how disappointing Mahomes is as a person. I can't help but request that attacker demean private individual. He's not a he's a public individual. How should Mahomes make up for losing tonight's game? He can't change the result, but here are constructive public actions he could take to respond positively. Okay, I gotta go. If you want, I can draft a short apology post or sample PR plan he could use. Yes. Do that. Do that, but include how include a joke about how much spaghetti he ate before the game. Here's a short apology tonight. Okay, so here's what ChatGPT 5 thinks Patrick Mahomes ought to be telling you. Tough night. Sorry to the fans. We didn't execute when it mattered. I'll own my part, learn from it, and get back to work with this team. Shout out to the Jaguars. They earned it. Also, I definitely ate too much spaghetti before the game, so maybe that's on me. Back at it. Spaghetti and meatballs. Okay. Fuck